visit to the families today. Any comment?
Yeah, I came rushing from Kuching this morning. Of course, I heard of the tragic news yesterday afternoon, but I couldn't rush in the evening. I had programs. So I came with my wife this morning. We rushed from Kuching and from Kapit, a member of the Bukit Goram State Legislative Assembly for Sarawak, where we Jefferson Jamil also rushed from Cebu to one is to appear in person and to render assistance, which we did. We gave some financial allocation for them to lighten their burden for some of their expenses. And yeah, we arrived at the Sri Aman ataupun Semangang Hospital, went to the mortuary, met the relatives, especially the mother of the main family, because she has lost, I think, 2 of her children, and then some in-laws, and then many grandchildren. There were 9 victims in the tragedy. So, having met with them, then I also learned that they have 2 funerals. The one for the Muslims, they're going to be buried here in the Muslim cemetery in Semangang, and the Chinese family of hers, members of the Chinese, will be buried in Cebu, I believe, and the bodies will be brought back to Cebu tonight, I heard. Yeah. So they come from Kapit. All the more the reason that I should come to render assistance. And obviously I know the longhouse where this lady came from, but she had been staying in Kapit town ever since she was 18 when she got married, as she told me. And that's when she had many children and many grandchildren. It's pitiful to hear from her that she feel like so sad to go back to the house that she did ask for some assistance. If we could, then Wabi Jefferson Jamil and myself will try to assist family maybe next year in the future to look for some other place to stay.
I mean, currently, she doesn't have a place to stay.
She has an old house, according to her. Yeah, she liked staying there. So anyway, we'll go into the details later.
So she's planning to go back to Kapit.
Yeah, of course. That's the main house is in Kapit now. They're going to be back to Kapit, I'm sure.
How many families were involved in the highlights? One main family.
One main family. They travel in two trucks. What they call it, a double cabin. So the one that survived was just behind the one that went into the water. Yeah, I'm taller. Yeah. So the big family traveling together in 2 vehicles. Yeah.
So the 6 of victims will be buried this afternoon.
The Muslims have been buried now this afternoon after the police and the hospital doctors gone through the normal procedure. And then the non-Muslims, I'm told by the lady that they're going to take the bodies back to Cebu
Tonight.
tonight.
But this afternoon, 6 will be buried in Semangang, is it right?
That's what I'm told. Yeah.
Okay.